Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day. Today we are doing a build that's a bit fun and a bit out there, and was sort of inspired by the not so berry challenge that some of the other simmers do, and one of my friends suggesting that I do a very different out there sort of build, so I thought I'd do a strawberry house for random reasons. And this build should have gone out last week, but I had such a mad week last week because I was going for job interviews, because I am supposed to be a graphic designer, but I haven't been able to get a job in that for a while now. But finally today I actually got my confirmation that I will actually be starting as a graphic designer. So it took me a while to get the actual shape of the house correct, because it was quite hard getting the shape right, and even, to be honest, really it looks a bit like a heart rather than a strawberry, and sort of wanted to use the windows to represent the little pips in there, so I decided to use ones that were a bit darker in these sort of framing bits. So with this house we are only using reds and pinks and sometimes a bit of white and orange if it comes in the item. It's quite a small home, but I managed to fit in 2 bathrooms, I think it's 4 bedrooms, and it's got a study and a living room and a quite nice big kitchen. And to get some of the strawberry plants itself, I had to create my own little sim beforehand and make him grow all the little plants that you'll see outside, and sort of use the debug option in the cheats to kind of get the strawberry sort of object, and sort of so I could use that to scale it up and sort of add different parts to this build. So it's just been putting the wallpapers and getting all the lighting, because using red in the game made it really dark, some of the rooms, because some of the reds are quite dark, so I had to add quite a lot of extra lighting into the different rooms, and it was quite a challenge to only use sort of the 2 colour variants, and made me use some of the items in the game that I don't actually normally use. So we're starting with the bathroom. It's quite a good combination between the pinks and the reds in the bathroom, because some of the rooms felt a bit more feminine because it was quite a pink heavy. I think the living room turns out quite a feminine looking room, well, stereotypically feminine looking room, because of all the pinks, and this is what we're working on now. So I used the sort of nice parenthood sofas, and the only TV that we could use in the pink and red category was the Penguin television, which was quite fun. I never get to really use that, and sort of picking items that could fit in this tiny little space, because I designed the shape of the house. It kind of has lots of diagonals in it, so it was quite hard to place some of the objects in the rooms, because they were a lot smaller than your traditional sort of square room. And also now we're going to work on the study area. I quite like the study area, and sort of trying to fill it with sort of different objects that you might find, and sort of playing around with where I wanted the bookcases, and sort of trying to make a sort of combined desk area for the person to sit and work, so they can look out the window and also have a lot of storage spaces for all their books. And using that rug brought in such life to that room, and sort of brung in the colour, the yellows and the oranges, which sort of bring a bit more life to the room, because it did get quite a bit monotonous using just red and pink, so it was kind of nice to find some of the items that did use some oranges and yellows in them, and just trying to find all the different clutter items. And now we're going to work on the kitchen. So I tried to pick one that had a white work surface, so then it really contrasts against the quite dark wallpaper that I picked, and sort of picking the more white appliances as well, which also just had the little red sort of tinges to them, and picking out the little cabinets for the cutlery and putting some blinds up. And yeah, I decided to use the city living table that sort of matched the floor as well, but it kind of all blended into one really in the kitchen because all the colours were quite similar. So I decided to use that bright pink, the bright pink rug to sort of bring a bit more lightness to the room. And this is probably my favourite bedroom in the build. It's for a sort of teen sim, so I imagined that the family that lived here all had the surname Strawberry, and sort of they had a teenager, a child and a toddler, and sort of designed each room to suit their different personalities. So this one's kind of they're into like sort of expressing themselves and trying to sort of a bit more out there sort of objects, and bringing in a bit more colour using the cushions and those 3 stacks of chests to bring in the pinks and the oranges. And then this is the parents' bedroom, so it's a bit more muted, bringing in a bit more pinks into this room to contrast with the more formal sort of layout that they've got going on in here, and sort of using the tree wall decals to add sort of a different feel to the room. Sort of they were more into nature, and placing over where the little lines in the wallpaper were to sort of tie it all into the room. And I forgot to add a lot of clutter items, so that's what I was just doing, then adding them back in to the spaces. And working on the second bathroom, which has a bath and a shower in it. And this was probably a lot easier to furnish than the bottom one because it was a more square shape and sort of a bigger space as well, so you could add a lot more different items in, and it came quite a nice space. And it was a bit over tiled. I think I probably would have changed the full tiled wallpaper that I used in there to sort of a half one to make it not so aggressive in there. And then we're working on the toddler bedroom, which was kind of a nice light pink and space, but also quite a small cramped space as well, because it was in the little sort of triangle room that ended up being created. But trying to use sort of all the kids items that came in the colour variants that I was trying to stick to, which was quite a lot for the kids. Actually, I was quite surprised the kids stuff did have a lot more of the colour variants that I wanted to use than sort of the more normal items. And this is the child's room. So I did something that I don't normally do with the wall graphics in this room. So I scaled up the big void critter on the wall, and I really liked it how it kind of fit near the bed, sort of it was crawling out from the floor, and sort of adding in the sort of the red, I think it's a dragon, and the chest of drawers, and they've got a little table to sit on, and they've also got the keyboard as well, because I did want to put that downstairs, but there wasn't quite enough room downstairs. And yeah, sort of using more blacks and darker reds in the child's room to sort of tie in with the sort of what personality I thought that they had. And now we're going to work on the outside. So I was using some of the red sort of wall crawlers to sort of decorate the outside because it was looking a bit bland, and scaling up the strawberry items to put on the side of the house to let you know sort of this is where the strawberries live. And I did go into the debug menu and get the fishing pond and sort of the magic tree out, because I wanted to have sort of like a more fantasy sort of vibe in the garden, and sort of picking out all the different pinks and white flowers that we have in the game, and using the toddler awning to sort of bring in sort of where they could have a outside eating space, and using the toddler lights and the sort of checkered eating table for the outside, and sort of trying to pick out different red outdoor objects that I could use, trying to put in some child's items. I think I'd take off the colours, so then I could put in the toddler slide, because it was a sort of pinky purpley colour and sort of fitted in, but didn't come up when I was actually searching for the different colourways. And used the red and white sort of picket fence to sort of garden off where the front of the garden was, and used the strawberry bushes to sort of wall that along the edge, and also make a little gardening area, so it's got some fertilizer bags and lots of pots and things, so you can grow your own little strawberry bushes in your back garden and harvest them and make lots and lots of money from them. And I think we're just adding in some more clutter items, and yeah, there's some balloons about just to liven up the area, and you can see the toddler slide that I mentioned earlier, and sort of the wall things like the hose and the trowel and stuff. They'll be using the terrain paint tool to make it look like they're out in the garden all the time, and sort of under the climbing frame and around the pond to make it more like it's set in the landscape, and using the green flowery roof for the top of the house. So this is the outside of the house, and then there's the back garden where you can see all the little fish jumping around in the pond, and these are the floor plans. And thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like, and if you'd like to see any more, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.